welcome everybody to the Winning Agenda. My name's Jesse Marshall, and Jesse Muir Marshall, I should say, and I'm here with the one and only Toby Firth. How are you, Toby?
Yo, hey, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Just been doing a bit of Pro Tour testing. How did you find the games tonight?
Do you know what? Way better than I thought it was going to be, to be fair.
What were you playing?
Bit of Ice Lexi.
Into Starvo?
Do like a bit of Lexi. Into Starvo, yeah. How did you find it?
Yeah, it was good. I'm finding Starvo not too different to where it was at before. Not minding the change from Autumn's Touch to... I've pretty much just gone Autumn's Touch to Nine Evergreens, and I wasn't too concerned with Awakening anyway, except in the mirror. And to be honest, I'm just glad that for the mirror I don't have to worry about Awakening anymore, because too often it just felt like who draws more Awakenings wins the game.
Because you never used to run it. Did you used to run it in any other matchup, or?
Not really. I would think about running it in like the Lexi matchup, but you get to this point where you've just got too many instants in your deck.
Yeah.
Between Blink and Blizzard and then Awakening as well. So how are you feeling about the metagame generally with the ban list?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. It's just because I haven't played many games and I'm not like as clued in as most people, but it doesn't feel like a huge change. I mean, to me, it's a big change because I ran Viscerai all through ProQuest, obviously.
Losing that Skeletor.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's probably bad players out there that are like, nah, it's fine. You can still run it, and you can still run it, but you lose out on so much. I think we were chatting, weren't we? Like, just what it enables you to do and the block and
yeah, you're like basically starting on 2 less life if you play
yeah, exactly. And then you don't have these explosive pivot turns where some of them you could argue were maybe a bit unfair, being able to do so much with so little, especially with like Quill Hand and things like that. But the fact that the deck is overpaying stuff anyway, like,
yes.
A 4 go again is going to cost you 3 unless you've got rune chances. Like, that's like the worst value ever. So being able to have the Skeletor in your pocket to kind of overcome that, I feel was a fair enough trade. Maybe not like Sonata, the OTK kind of stuff was dull to play against, dull to watch. Like, it's a terrible archetype and terrible game state, but something you had to do. So
And
maybe
maybe
even
the
just taking
Skeletor...
Sonata out would have been fine.
Yeah, and maybe the Skeletor in combination with the Quill Hand as well was a little bit too much value. The fact that off like no rune chance, you could get this 2-cost discount, which later Rattle Bones, and then you could, do other things, Revel, Swarming Gluvar, whatever, and you've just got kind of a pretty big turn off very little. Maybe that pushed it over the edge a bit, as well as the Sonata interaction. I don't know, but yeah, Quill Hand definitely felt pretty good with Skeletor.
Yeah, and now I think it's like average at best, probably. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess before we open this box of Toa First Edition, we should probably tell the viewers a little bit of the backstory to Tales of Aria First Edition. So this was the box of choice that had just been released when we had Australian Nationals. It was the most recent set. I mean, we'd had Toa for a few months and we were drafting Toa in the main event, but people had a few boxes sitting around. So in the hours after the tournament, we spent a bit of time developing different ways to try and open boxes that were a bit of fun. And when we got to the end of the night, I think it was the night of the tournament, wasn't it? After we'd finished the night of day 2. It was
day 2, yeah. So it was Sunday, yeah.
We had 1 box left, and Toby was just like, "Well, I have to crack it." And tell the viewers what you said about the Spellbound Creepers.
I said because I just whenever I was opening up Tails boxes, I would always open up as Spellbound Creepers, and I think I ended up putting like 7 of them, I'm going to say, through boxes, cases, prize packs. And I was like, if there's a Spellbound Creepers in this box, then I'll just rip it up. And then you and then you took objection to that.
Yep.
And were like, you should just at least give it away. And I was like, fine, if it's a Spellbound Creepers, it's not mine, whatever. Don't want anything to do with it. And I think we could probably all work out what was opened in that box.
Yep.
And I couldn't even. I wasn't even in the. We did a random thing, didn't? Was it you? It was
yeah,
just
we
like
did.
a random.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't even allowed in that, so I couldn't even win it back.
Yeah, but I ended up winning it out of about 8 people. No,
You
you
did.
insisted on being in the random prize draw,
Maybe I
which
did. Yeah.
was somewhat baffling considering the
Well,
context of everything that had
no,
happened.
because if I'd have won it in the raffle, I could have then ripped it up
That's true.
because then
Yeah.
I'd rightfully owned it. I bet people out there like, man, I can't even buy legendaries, and there's like, I still am ripping them up.
And
Like,
this guy's just tearing them up.
disgusting,
Yeah.
disgusting.
So what I thought we'd do with this box is that Toby's going to get one back on me. So if I happen to open Spellbound Creepers in this box, I'm going to give it back to Toby, and I really hope he doesn't rip it up.
I wouldn't do that. Not a legendary. If any Channel Mount Heroics you open up though, they have to be ripped.
No, any Channel Mount Heroics, I'll just hide very quickly. Because that's the other thing that happened at Nationals was Toby got so angry about the existence of Channel Mount Heroic in the Briar deck that he decided that any Channel Mount Heroics he opened, or that anyone opened in his presence, would need to be destroyed. So a group of people who were hanging out with us there all have Channel Mount Heroics that are torn up into quarters.
Several pieces. People are keeping their Starvo cards away from me now.
Yeah, I'll keep my alt art channel leg frigids a long way away from Toby.
Oh no, they're all right. They're safe. I like those. They're good.
You
cards.
like those? Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're playable in Lexi too. Is that one?
Yeah.
Have you got your full set? Haven't you?
I have. Yeah, I got
channel
one
leg
off you,
frigids,
one off Lee, and then one off of. Can't remember the other ones off, but yeah, managed to get them for Nats, which was nice. Bit of bling. Very nice cool looking card.
And so the other thing I should mention is that did a couple of posts about it this week. Was lucky enough to be offered a content creator kit by Legends Throw Studios this time around. So super happy about that, and thanks LSS for choosing us. Sorry about the focus on this camera. I'll try and get that a bit better. Speaking of which, and one of the good things about that is that we get a kit with some promos to give away to viewers, which is pretty exciting. So what I'm going to do is for channel members on YouTube, so it's $3 a month to subscribe on YouTube, just helps support the channel and pay for things like this camera. We are going to do a giveaway, so it'll be as soon as the package arrives. I think it's going to arrive next week, hopefully, before I go to the PT, but we might have to do the giveaway when I get back. We're just going to, I'm going to basically do a video of the contents of the kit, and then we're going to ask channel members to just say kind of what videos you would like, what sort of content you'd like to see out of the channel in the future, and we'll pick some random comments from there to give the promos away to. So that'll be super exciting. So head on over to the YouTube channel and jump on as a member if you want to be part of that giveaway. And I'm happy to post those worldwide. So get on in that. Toby, are you ready to go?
Just man. I've not opened any Toa since we drafted it last, probably.
It's been a while, hasn't it? So other than Spellbound Creepers, what are your memories of drafting Toa at Nationals? How did you find the format?
A lot of people kind of were mixed on Toa draft. Like some people either really liked it. I think you either really liked it or really hated it. I really liked it. I thought going from like 4 heroes in Monarch to 3, having the shared card pool made it really interesting. You could keep your, it was a lot harder to pick out what people were potentially going on because of the shared cards.
Elements. Yep.
Yeah, which was like, a really fun aspect of it. And it didn't feel like, I don't know, you probably like have thoughts on this as well, but Monarch Draft is like awesome, love it. But there's very clear cut slam dunk cards, whereas maybe Toa, apart from the like equipment,
Bramble Spark.
Yeah, Bramble Spark. I mean Bramble Spark, yeah, because everyone just wanted Briar, but and obviously like Mark of Lightning and what was the other one? The Deep Blue. Pretty good first picks, but other than that, there's nothing that you're like, oh, I take this, then it's gonna catapult me above everyone else. It's like more about the crafting of it and stuff. So yeah, I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, Isaac and I ended up doing a lot of pick on pack ones in the lead up to Nats, just cracking packs and saying what would your first pick be, and a lot of Mark of Lightning and I'm getting that Tales of Aria. Let's taking the focus. I'm just going to move that out of the way. The Mark of Lightning and Deep Blue. Oh, this is not focusing for me. Come on. Nope. I have to miss that way. Mark of Lightning and Deep Blue were pretty much like auto picks, so we had to remove them from the pool of possible cards by the end of it, because this is just not going to focus on this pack. I'm going to give up on that because it was
even
too...
Sucklips there could be a spicy pack one pick one. You know, you could just definitely be like, just getting in it. Such a good card.
But other than the equipment, I think for me it was Bramble Spark, and I kind of Fulminate from Majestic. I kind of ended up in this situation where I was wanting to draft Briar most of the time. By the time Nats came around, and I actually ended up forcing Briar in both of my Nats drafts, which worked out okay. I think I was 5-1 in draft in the end, but foil Endless Winter. But there was definitely a lot of play as the format developed a bit more, I think, in the other heroes. Like, a lot of people leading up to Nats were quite convinced that, Oldhim was the best hero because he could just fatigue everyone out.
Yeah.
And then there kind of develops this little thing where if no one else is drafting Lexi, you fell into this a few times in our practice drafts, didn't you?
Exactly, yeah. Just no one wants to draft it, so you just end up drafting it, just have pick of everything. Like, get your element cards. You'll always get your red arrows wheeled back to you, and then you're like, cool. And then, so you can sort of like build how you want, really.
Yeah,
Nationals is a bit different. So. Like our first, I only made day one, but the draft we did was pretty evenly spread.
Did you end up drafting Lexi?
Like yeah, I said I was just going to force Lexi all weekend. I was like, whatever. And I think there were 3 Lexis in our pod. 3 Lexis, 3 Briars, 2 Oldhim. So yeah, it was quite an even split, I suppose.
And
but
3
I think
Lexis. Yeah, it doesn't. The packs tended not to quite support 3 good Lexi decks, did they?
That's the problem. Yeah, that's definitely a problem. But Ball Lightning on a card. Where's that gone?
Yeah, haven't seen one of those for a while.
Ball Lightning was another one. When it Red Ball Lightning, pack one, pick one. Boom. If there's no good equipment, slam it. Yeah.
Foil Mulch.
Is it still playable in Blitz? Is it suspended in both formats?
I think it's banned in both from memory.
Yeah.
A bit like Seeds of Agony, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I don't think I've seen any Ball Lightnings in any Blitz tournaments. Not that I watched too many rounds of Blitz.
It's such an interesting, ban or suspension as it is now, because I don't know. Is there anything now with Everfest and the current meta where you'd be like, oh, Ball Lightning is just broken?
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see Briar back to full power. I think that's something that I've chatted to a few people about, and shout out to Zach from Team Covenant. We were having a chat the other day about Plunder Run, the ban, and the fact that taking... Oh, Cold Foil Honing Hood.
Foily.
Oh, there you go. That's the only common Cold Foil from Toa that I didn't have.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's that worked out all right.
Worth the price of admission.
Worth the $9 of value out of this $100 whatever box, but you never know. There could be something else good. But yeah, Zach was just kind of saying removing Plunder Run from the format has taken out the best generic on hit trigger, and a lot of the best aggro decks relied on it to keep up pressure consistently and actually make people block. And you kind of think instinctively that taking one of the best aggro cards out of the format might slow the format down. But what it actually did was change the equation between attacking and blocking, so that for almost every hero in the game, cards in hand now were worth more than blocks in most situations, like unless you're playing against, Ice Lexi, where every arrow has a relevant on-hit trigger. But for a lot of heroes that don't have access to those relevant on-hit triggers, they were able to use Plunder Run to present that threat. So taking it away actually kind of sped the format up, weirdly.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And like we were saying earlier, about Chain, weren't we? It's like it has no real on hits anymore. I mean, Shadow Puppetry, but I mean, obviously that's been neutered a little bit. And it's, yeah, exactly. And it's like if you like Plunder on Chain, as oppressive as it was, like removing seeds and keeping Plunder on, is that fair enough? Because now it's like, okay, Chain can have these explosive turns with like 10, 20, whatever, 30 damage, but it's like, it's just damage, isn't it? Like you can You can, if you want, take a big hit in a vase, keep the cards, and then hit back harder potentially. Whereas with Plunder Run on, it's like, throws up those questions like, when are you going to put your block? What else are they coming in with? Am I just going to eat it and they get an extra card, which can then snowball out of control? So Katsu as well, like having that on the chain is just like on decks that want to get long chain links.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big hit for them. But someone like Katsu still has on hits. You've got Mask, you've got Whelming, but chain not so much.
It's just kind of like taking out one that you could stack with all of those others to make really threatening turns and force those blocks. Because there are a lot of heroes too. I mean, Starvo's one, but Starvo kind of plays like a Rune Blade in a lot of ways, because the more cards you have in hand, the bigger your turns are. I mean, I guess all aggro decks kind of play like that in Fab to an extent, but the like 4th and 5th card for Rune Blades, and I think for Starvo as well, turns what is often a mediocre hand or turn into a really good turn on the offense.
Absolutely.
And so allowing Starvo to keep 4 or 5 cards in hand frequently is a recipe to probably fall behind, because they'll just outvalue you. Whereas if you can be presenting, Plunder Runs consistently, I honestly think that if we had a Briar and Chain with Plunder Run, Starvo wouldn't be as oppressive as it is.
No, because you would be forcing in that matchup specifically as well. You'd be forcing the blocks, and then they lose, like you say. They being a card or two down hinders them, and then you can get on the front foot, and it's a real like tempo shifter.
Yeah.
But I suppose like Bri, you still have Force of Nature, which adds the draw element, which like is so big. So maybe like if you think about like Briar with Force of Nature and Plunder Runs and Snatches would go again, it's like it's kind of a lot, but Chain without Seeds with a Plunder Run, I don't know if that's fair or not.
Yeah, I was testing a bit of Briar last night with sort of that theory into Starvo, and part of the problem was every time I got to a really nice 5-card hand, I was getting Oaken or Crippling Crushed coming back the other way. And then they might have a turn where they're just presenting pure damage, and I'd be like, oh, cool, well, I can take some here and hit back. But yeah, you don't then have that on-hit draw trigger in hand, and you just can't present as much of a threat coming back just because you don't have as many in your deck. So yeah, if you can, I guess the thing with Briar is if you had the Plunder Runs and the Force of Natures, and you could be consistently presenting on-hit draw effects basically every turn, then Starvo depriving you of the opportunity to keep some hands wouldn't be such a problem. But at the moment, if they threaten the discard on the good hands, you just kind of get hosed.
Yeah, for sure. You want to speak to Perry about Briar and drawing cards? He like pretty much OTK'd me on Monday night with.
Oh really?
He was like, I thought I played Briar. I just pulled this deck out. I haven't changed it. It's probably garbage. And like, I think he went like 10 health down, and then just natty double comboed Force of Natured me with Channel Mountain Heroic out. So Channel Mountain Heroic, double Force of Nature fused, and then E-Strike for 12. And I'm like, I can't. That's it. I can block this, and then like, block that, and then he comes in like Scar for a Scar. Draws cards, next one draws cards, next one draw, and I'm just like, just taking it. So that's second or third turn, he takes me from 40 health to like 10. I'm like, well, I think that's done.
That's the dream.
Yeah. He said that's happened to me twice. I'm like, yeah, I mean, but it's happened. So.
I think I might have seen it happen to someone at Nats.
Savage.
That's a nice one for the Starvo deck.
It's a foily beauty.
Well, I mean, an absolute trash cold foil, albeit the one common cold foil that I didn't have yet. But 2 foil Majestics, so that's all right. And we've still got 2 packs left. So let's see if we can pull out
Creepers time.
Creepers or a Channel Lake Frigid would be nice.
Could happen, right?
It could happen.
Toa was stacked, man. I don't know, like the boxes I had just had loads of stuff.
Oh, Blue Lightning Sedge.
I mean,
I'm playing that in the deck, so this is the thing. I was like, I'm just going to open this box because at the very least, I'm going to get some Rainbow Foil commons that I'm missing from my Starvo deck. So, jeez. But I mean, I had to do it for the Spellbound Creepers. All right, so
Yeah.
last pack to find a Creepers. Come
Oh,
on. Oh,
was that a
it's a
Dusky?
Duskblade.
Bring it back. Shouldn't have banned it.
Shouldn't have banned it. Well, yeah, I don't know about that. Overflex. Didn't mind seeing a few of those in draft.
Yeah, good
And
draft card.
nothing.
Runways.
So no Creepers. Sorry to
Oh
say,
man,
Toby.
wow, that's really disappointing. I was promised creepers if I came here, and I've not got any.
But we did end up, let's see if we get that focus back. So we did end up with a cold foil Honing Hood, 2 rainbow foil Majestics, a Blizzard and an Endless Winter, a few random assorted Majestics, and then a secret Majestic, which we can't show Toby.
What?
That's not a Majestic. No, this was this has
Oh,
to be hidden.
okay, yeah, I know. I figure I know what that is. I hate it even more after playing Perry on Monday.
Yeah. Should we open a box of Everfest as well? I don't know.
I mean, look, I'm a fan of opening boxes.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, let's crack a box of Everfest.
Let's crack it,
Why
man.
the hell not? Yeah. So we'll put those aside. Thanks to all the viewers for stopping by. Feel free to pipe in the chat with your thoughts on the ban list or Toby's proclivity for ripping cards or whatever you like. Just let us know what you're up to. What time is it here? 10:30 on a Friday night here in Australia. The other thing it's probably worth chatting to our viewers about is that we would normally be at an armory right now. 10:30 p.m. on a Friday. We normally play a Friday night armory, but why did we decide not to go tonight, Toby?
because we don't want COVID.
I didn't think of this when we committed to going to the Pro Tour, but when you go into the United States, when you're flying at the moment, you have to get a negative COVID test in the day before you leave. So we're flying next Friday, which means that if we catch COVID now, we won't be able to get on the plane next Friday. So we just have to isolate, basically, because if we get COVID, it's holiday over, Pro Tour over, that's it.
Crash and burn.
The risk is just too high. I'm going to get this Everfest box.
Do it, man. Do you just have them like piled up behind you?
Yeah, just got a couple sitting there.
Just in case the urge kicks in to open something.
I mean, how would you feel about having a shelf of sealed booster boxes on your shelf?
Gone. They'd be gone.
They wouldn't be there anymore.
Nah, they disappeared. Actually, not too bad. I do keep some stuff just for mementos.
Have you?
Just put in a cupboard.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. I've got I've got some like alpha stuff, some first ed stuff. Yeah.
What have you got? Have to tell us more. This sounds very spicy.
Just like a couple of boxes of a couple of boxes of alpha, a couple of boxes of first ed, arcane, and then like a case of mon, I think.
Nice.
But just because I don't know, I got in early, but because I was new to card games, I got in around like Arcane Rising, and I was just, as soon as I was like into opening the packs, and it was lockdowns as well, so it was like I just was ripping into boxes, didn't care. And then when it was announced like out of print, I was like, in my head, because I didn't understand the trading card ecosystem, I was like, I need to order more so I can open more. And then it only dawned on me like a little bit later, people were like, you should probably keep some because they could like potentially like, be worth something in the future or whatever. So yeah, after like being several cases deep, it was like, I'll just keep a couple back just because it's a nice collection, just to have and that. And
totally. And you guys were like just giving away common cold foils back in alpha days, weren't you? So
yeah, pretty much. I think I saw a post pop up the other day of something that I'd listed up some like common cold foils for like $10 each or whatever, and you couldn't sell them.
Yeah.
And now, they're worth a bit more, but yeah, it's fun. And I think it's. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, what are we going to have to do to get you to crack one of those alpha boxes at some point in the future?
I can't. Do you know what? The amount of times I've sort of seen it or sat around and been like, would be good to do. Like, could be something really nice in there. But then you watch someone else do it, and they just get
It's just
hosed, and you're
utter
like, nah,
garbage.
nah.
Yeah.
You have to hit so well.
On alpha.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just nice to have. Quite like just having it.
What's taking our focus here? These
But I
Everfest
like the
packs
way
actually
that
amazing.
the new Uprising set's kind of going to feel like that again. As in,
With
like, you're going to have boxes that you want to open, and they're going to have a lot of, you know, they're going to encourage you to, want to open stuff. Like, when we were opening back then, when it was just like first ed or alpha or whatever, and that was the only thing. It was like nice. It was fun. You could get a foil, cold foil. Oh, Quillhand.
your
Is
mate
that a
Quillhand?
foil?
No,
Hey,
just a regular,
Quilly
but
Quill.
you know,
And you
looks
could
after
get
you.
these cold foils, and they were like, felt nice, and that sort of lost a bit over the last couple of sets where you have unlimited and things. So it's nice to have just one
Yeah.
set, I think, now.
Every box that you open is actually going to feel cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Release the tension. Any use for that in Ranger?
Garbage. Put it in the bin.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to make that one work.
Maybe one day.
Maybe, yeah, another Ranger. Those Everfest zero cost blue auras, though, tell you what, they have been
Who'd have
something
thought?
else. Well, me, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I think basically everyone was like, hang on, this
Yeah.
has Spectra, it costs 0, and it blocks.
Yeah.
Sign me up. Oh, I put that foil in the wrong pile. Timekeeper's Wing Fatigue Shot. Twin Twisters. Not its time to shine yet.
Not yet. Who knows?
Yeah, it's funny with these boxes and cold foils. Every time I see the carnival slot card, particularly if it's a talisman or something, I'm like, please don't be a cold foil. Which is kind of not where you want to be at.
Nah, definitely not. But now that'll be back, like what, 200, 300 packs before a potential cold foil legendary. It's like, oh, that's going to feel special.
Yeah,
So nice.
Yeah, talk me through your thoughts on Fab 2.0 as well. So you like the change back to one pack, one type of booster.
Yep, I don't think there was. I think if you read through the article, I don't think there's anything there where you'd be like, this was a bad decision. It seems good all round. I think the history packs are cool. Gets people a chance to get cards that may be a bit more desirable, a bit hard to get without impacting. Oh, was that a pry?
It is. Yeah, I'll add that to my prize pack stack.
Yeah. So yeah, I think a big hit, and since in artwork as well for Uprising, like keen to just get in it.
Yep. Yeah, I can't wait to get into Uprising. So we've got our first Australian calling since I've been playing the game. So I think it's the first Australian calling in like 3 years, basically. Coming up in June.
we had a like calling that wasn't a calling because of COVID and stuff. So
Extended up, pick a card, any card. Everybody's dream card. And 2 garbage rares. Yeah, so we missed out on the Melbourne calling last year, which was devastating. I did a few videos in the lead up to it of Monarch Seal practice and such things, and then it was cancelled, which is pretty devastating for the community here. So it's really great to have another Australian calling around the corner. But we've got to get through the Pro Tour first. So much excitement. I'm actually just like, I feel like we're spoiled all of a sudden. Like we had this little drought, and then now we're just getting spoiled.
it's pretty overwhelming.
So much good stuff. Between, what have we got? Like Pro Tour, Uprising spoilers coming out, the callings and the Uprising launch.
Got another Pro Quest.
Yeah, another
season.
Pro Quest season. And then before we know it, we'll be in Road to Nationals and heading back towards Nationals again.
Yeah, jeez. And that will come around sooner, won't it? Because ours was pushed back because it was meant to be November. Was it meant to be November? Or did we have it in November?
We had it in January.
January, wasn't it? It was meant to be in
everybody
November.
else had theirs in November, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got a short distance between ours. So yeah, that will come around quick.
Ooh, Fire Breathing. That one's been
Great
seeing a
looking
fair
card.
bit of play. Great looking card. And also with Icelander coming into Classic Constructed, possibly has a good future.
Interesting.
I mean, every card, you can't just kind of take a Blitz deck list and add a third copy of everything and expect to have a functioning Classic Constructed deck. You know, the game functions differently in Classic Constructed compared to Blitz, and things, particularly cards that might help you get your opponent down to 0 quickly in Blitz, might not be viable in the longer game of Classic Constructed. But,
is that where Fire Breathing is it? Is it in Icelander decks and Blitz, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seeing a fair bit of play there, because you've got a lot of blues in your deck, and you not only are you threatening the pump on the Fire Breathing, but you're also threatening arcane damage from your other abilities or from your arsenal or whatever else. So they've got to kind of be careful on how they're blocking, I guess.
Sneaky wizards.
Yeah, those sneaky wizards, you just can't trust them. I've got too many cards here that the thing's trying to focus on. Get this pick a card, any card out of there. Nobody wants that.
The camera wants it.
The camera wants it, but nobody else does.
No. Timidity Point, that's another one.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Like, where is that ever useful?
Yeah, not a lot of love for that card out there, I gotta say. So let's just for viewers' benefit, what's Timidity Point doing?
The artwork is garbage, and
I mean, artwork is subjective, garbage. But I can't say it's my favourite artwork in Fab.
That's fair. I feel there's better.
So it's got your usual 1 for 4 at yellow arrow rate. When it hits a hero, attacks they control, lose, and can't gain dominate. Yeah, I mean, it's very
how
specific.
Big is that? I mean, you're very specific, yeah.
I think there's kind of always a bit of a rule in card games that cards that further your own game plan and help you be more consistent are generally going to be better than cards that neuter your opponent's game plan or require them to be doing a particular thing in order to be good. There's obviously some exceptions. Once you've got a metagame and it's pretty clear that one strategy is really dominant, there might be some scope, like with Starvo. Everyone's, well, not everyone, but a lot of decks playing unmovable, and defense reactions in general. But things that are hosing other things that are very specific, certainly hard to get into your main deck.
Yeah, totally agree.
Like, would you rather create Frostbites or prevent them getting Dominate?
Yeah. Tough choice.
Yeah. There we go. Pry. Payload. It's a nice looking foil, at least.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, Talisman of Balance. So still no cold foil in this box.
I don't even know what the talismans do. Like, the only one I know is the one that destroys Arsenal. It's a Talisman of Warfare.
Talisman of Balance. Talisman of Balance gives you an Arsenal. If they've got one. Okay. So at the beginning of your end phase, if you have less cards in Arsenal than an opposing hero, destroy it and put the top card of your deck into an empty Arsenal zone you control.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. At least it has go again.
Is that a one that has to do it? It has to happen when the conditions met, or you choose.
Yes, no, it has to. Yeah, I think all of the talismans might be mandatory from memory, and they all have go again, I think, or most of them do anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I agree that it was kind of like just this mass of cards that I didn't necessarily pay a lot of attention to what they did because they all seemed a little bit underpowered. For Majestic. I've kind of started to get a little bit more familiar with some of them, and a few of them have seen a bit of fringe play here and there in the meta, but in the main, they haven't really found their space to shine yet.
Yeah.
I was playing some Clarities and Deja Vus on and off in Kano.
I feel like Deja Vu Kano is probably pretty legit though, isn't it? Because you could instant it out and then...
Yeah, you can.
So you can instance it out, and then you can obviously use it to put your cards back on top of the deck and then just pull them back off again.
Yeah.
So that seems pretty strong, but maybe a bit finicky, and maybe it's like how many potions do you want to run in Kano, because you're already running energy potions, I suppose.
Yeah. There is definitely that. But, they're blues. Yeah. And hitting them off the top is kind of sweet value some of the time. Well, when I say value, I guess, you're paying 3 resources for it.
It's true.
Shrill, Veiled.
Shrill's a solid card, man. I think all colours is pretty solid.
I totally underrated that one.
The blue is like, I think, mandatory in any Rune Blade. Well, definitely Chain and Viscera. I don't know if Briar plays it, but
It's pretty strong.
Does Briar play it?
Shrill? Nah, not. I'm not
Probably
playing
not
it
as
at the
much.
moment, but
Probably because she doesn't have control over when she can make her auras as much as Vis and Chain.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same with there we go. It's the same with Revel. Is just not quite as good in Briar because you need to sequence it after your first attack. And Swarming Gloomveil as well. It's harder to control when you generate your auras. So, yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah,
I
I suppose.
Cold Foil Potion of Seeing. There we go.
Hey,
the hosing came eventually.
Don't even know what it does.
I think this might be the worst one.
Looks nice, though. I tell you what, it's one of the prettiest ones.
It does look very nice. So it costs 0. Let's see if we can get that shine. Costs 0 and doesn't have Go Again. It's got an instant ability, Destroy Potion of Seeing. Are you ready for this?
Go for it. Hit me.
Look at target hero's hand.
What?
Isn't that broken?
You could do so many things with that. Like, I don't know what could you possibly use that for? Like, to see if they have a defense react or something, or to see if they have blues, and it's like you'll find out anyway.
Yeah.
It's not really going to change much of your turn if you know what's in there. I don't know, maybe.
It's just, how is that ever going to be worth a card and an action point? It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Battery B, Battering Bolt. Not one that you've been playing in Lexi.
Nah, I don't like it. Others do, but I don't know. I think if you're paying essentially 3 for an arrow, it better do something amazing, and it doesn't. So
yeah. It's a
very
6
very
for Prism.
specific.
Like, I wonder whether that was what they were thinking with it. That, like, we want to give Rangers a way to have an arrow. Let's focus again. We want to give Rangers a way to have an arrow that's a 6 to pop Phantasms. I don't know.
It makes sense, and its effect is very much geared towards a Prism running lots of instants. But I just don't think.
Hasn't made it for you.
Nah, I think I'd rather have something like CNC in my deck if I was going to put anything in for 6th over that. But I don't know, others might see it work. I've not really played around with it too much.
Imperi says, best potion in set, highest BM value, pop it targeting yourself to double check you have lethal. So good.
That's the strat. That's the strat, boys.
Before you do that, have you got to, like, put your hand face down on the table? And be like, oh, hang on. Have I got lethal? Wait, let me check. Pop the potion. Have a look.
I almost want to play it just to do that now.
Just to target yourself with it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I am Perry. Is that Daniel Perry? I assume so.
I have no idea.
Let us know. Rune Blood, even bigger than that. 100 wins. Yeah, nothing good happening there. All right, so we got...
that's half a Katsu deck there.
4 packs, yeah. The one and only Terry has stopped by. Great to have you here.
Of course it is.
I hope he was here to... hear... Oh, thanks for following. I hope he was here to hear the story about him hosing you earlier with his Briar deck. I imagine that he probably would have jumped in the chat if he'd heard that.
He heard me whinge enough on Monday about it.
He probably heard you whinging. That's why he came down to watch the stream. He just heard you telepathically. Yeah, so Perry, if you weren't here, Toby was just telling us how you went off with your... what's it called? What's that?
Force of Nature.
Force of Nature, and just...
Combo, wombo, double.
Oh, was it double Force of Nature?
Double Force of Nature with a channel mount out, yeah. It was absolutely disgusting.
I was not, but I felt it out in the universe. I knew it. Talisman of Warfare, Emeritus Scolding. And... all right, right, so this box has been utterly disappointing. Oh, hello.
Oh, hello, he says that. What timing?
Well, that was good timing. See if we can get a bit of focus on that one. It's a very
That's
nice
a good.
looking card.
That's a good looking card, man. I
Yeah.
think out of the extended
It's
arts, that's
just
probably
blue.
the best
There we
one.
go. Yeah.
I
It
think the
does look
100
pretty
wins one's
nice, though.
okay, but and the wizard one, it just looks weird. I don't know the artwork on that, but this one
Either
looks nice.
Wildfire. Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah,
It's interesting. Mark Poole, one of the best known magic artists out there. Either
Which one?
Wildfire, probably
Which
not
one
his
did he
best
do?
work. Yeah, either Wildfire.
It's the wildfire.
Mm.
He didn't do flash freeze as well, did he?
Yeah, he did. Your
Yeah, he
fave.
did. Yeah. Classic. Yeah, he's
Oh, and a
he's
Metamorph. Not a bad pack.
that's all right. If only that lantern was cold foil,
Yeah, that would
that'd
have
have
been
been swing.
swing and a swing. Wouldn't mind that one in the prize pack. So Perry, was it you a couple of weeks ago that pulled a Fabled from an FS prize pack? Or was that you, Toby, at Sal's?
Ah, that was me.
Yeah.
Yes, I got my. No, what is it? I can never remember the name of it. The Guardian one.
Hernandez Thermidor enjoyed this box is garbage and straight into a pulverize. And a second cold foil. Well,
Oh man,
look, all I've got to do is trash talk the
What's-
boxes and all these good things just fall out of them.
what's that one do?
Well, wouldn't you like to know?
I'd love to know.
Got an eye. I got it and an eye back to back during the ProQuest. So yeah, classic Perry.
Yeah,
Perry's just
yeah,
got a one
yeah,
up
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one more box of Everfest for the stream because this is just too much. If you're right to hang around for a bit more, Toby.
Yeah, sure, man. I got no plans. It's raining. We've got no
Sweet.
armory, so let's just open.
Let's
I mean,
just open another
like I
box.
say, we'd be doing this anyway, but in a bit more of a social kind of environment. So.
Yeah, that's right. But it's thanks everyone for stopping by. So we'll do another box of Everfest, and I think in the spirit of the first box, we're going to have to choose a card that if I open it, I have to give it to Toby. So chime it in the chat. What card do you think we should put the bounty on for Toby to win if I open it?
Perry's not allowed to answer because it'll give me absolute garbage.
Perry will be like, foil, increase the tension. Just regular yellow, increase the tension. Potion of Ironhide says 0 cost, doesn't have go again. Instant destroy Potion of Ironhide. Attack action cards you own gain 1 defense this turn and gain +1 defense. So it's all attack action cards, not attacks. Oh no, it's just attacks. Sorry, not all action.
So you have to put a 0 block card in your deck. Use an action point to play it, and then at some point you can pop it so that you get a maximum of an extra 4 defense if you dump your whole hand, and they happen to all be attack actions.
But this card is actually interesting to me because in Fab there aren't many ways to increase the block value of your hand in aggregate on key turns. So if you're playing against a deck that is quite like a lot of Guardian decks tend to be, or quite cyclical, that they have some slower building turns and then a big turn, and then some slower building turns and a big turn. If there was a deck that was even more pronounced at doing that, or that relied on one particular big turn, then I could see this being a tool in control decks. Trying to counter that, you get a couple of these in play. If you have, if you have 2 or 3 of these in play, all of a sudden your attacks are blocking for 5 or 6.
It's very true. I suppose I didn't think about that. Like if you had 3 out, you could get away with potentially blocking, say, a CNC with 1 card. But then it's a trade-off, isn't it? Like again, having the 3 0 blocks and needing 3 action points to get them out. Like, yeah, there might be a niche case for it at some point, but yeah, it's probably not as bad as the looking at your opponent's hand, which is going to change next turn anyway.
Yeah, the looking at your opponent's hand one, I don't think has that same potential to give you some kind of long-term advantage that some of the potions do. Yeah, Potion of Ironhide, I can definitely see one day that playing some role somewhere. So let's just summarize box 1 before we go into the second Everfest box. So the only suggestion we've got so far is is really just Perry letting us know that his mind instantly went to the worst rare that he could think of. So it was lucky that you banned him from guessing. So yeah, any other suggestions in the chat as to which card I should be required to give to Toby if I open it in the next box? Please chime in. Otherwise, I'm just going to choose Miraging Metamorph, Battering Bolt, Foil Rolling Thunder, Sigil of Parapets, Fire Breathing, Helm of Sharp Eye, Vexing Quill Hand, and Rain Razors are the Majestics plus the Pulverize. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 Majestics, including 2 foils, one of them extended art, and then 2 cold foil potions. Right, so I don't know. I reckon we can hopefully top that in the next box. What do you reckon, Toby?
Sure thing, man.
Are there any so Talisman of Tithes to commemorate the first Fab 2-year suspension? Yeah, 2-year player suspension. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
If I open a Talisman, was it Tithes? Yeah, Tithes that you can't draw cards on. Yep. So that's good. That one's gone straight to Toby, who's welcome to post it wherever he likes to any players who might require them desperately.
So I'll post this to the guy that got banned
in the finals. Yeah. But I think also, are there any cold foil Majestics that you don't have yet, Toby, from Everfest?
Cold foil Majestics. What don't I have? I don't have a Crown of Reflection.
There you go. So if we open a cold foil Crown of Reflection in the next box, it's gone straight to Toby.
And again, is that a Mark Paul art, because it's terrible as well? Is that one of his terrible ones?
Viewers can chime in and let us know. I'll just go grab the other box.
Perry likes Crown of Reflection. He thinks it's really artistic, the way it's done and the way the water's there, and he really likes it. He probably knows who the artist is.
All right. So let's get this box open. We can clean up these piles in a second. I'll just leave them there while we're opening this up.
Just put them in a bin.
No. At the very least, we can turn them into more boxes to open on the channel. That's the way it works, isn't it? It's unfortunate that I open this extended art Pulverize now that Awakening has just been banned, because I've now removed it from my starter deck. But it's still, I'm not complaining. It's still nice to have.
Nice card.
Put these Majestics away. I'll leave the cold foils up.
I don't think I actually opened any extended M's. So it must be fairly rare, I guess.
Yeah, I think they are.
The new ones, though. The new marbles.
Marbles, yeah.
Oh, that looks very nice.
Sure does.
I mean, some dragon full art. Yeah.
I wonder whether a few people have been speculating that maybe the dragon's going to be the illusionist can summon all 3 of them with different cards, or with the weapon or something. Hero ability.
I just feel like, because there's 3 of them, they have 1 each.
Yeah.
But then obviously in the lore it's said, or in the flavor, they've said that the illusionist summons dragons. So
yes.
So yeah, it could go either way, but it'd be nice if we had 1 each. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it'd be strange in some ways with the lore if Icelander had one, given Icelander's just kind of rocked up in Dragonland.
She might have found one though. She might have just been She's been on this journey. She's just like, oh, what's this egg? Like Game of Thrones style. She got Game of Thrones Daenerys style. She got handed an egg, and then she just sort of kept it warm, and then boom, dragon.
Turns out it's full of dragon.
Yeah.
Wild ride.
Wild ride. It has been.
Glitter on it. It has been, absolutely. So yeah, in the chat, let us know, what are you most excited about for the next set for Uprising so far? I mean, you're probably excited to see some new Ninja cards, hey Toby? Toby's a big Ninja player.
Love Ninja. Perry's a big Ninja player as well, if he's still there. I expect he's pretty pumped for it as well. But yeah, I mean, it must be... Yeah, Ninja's been... Like, Katsu's so fun to play, but it's so frustrating. So
Perry says, Ninja and Illusionist set, so exciting.
Yeah, that is right up Perry's street. So yeah, I think, a new Ninja is going to be sick.
Extended art Thunderquake. Now, we should say, this doesn't necessarily hose us from getting another extended art Majestic. Not that we're likely to get 2 in 2 boxes, but we did get that absolute garbage pick a card any card in the last box. And yet we still got the foil Pulverize, so, you know.
Take that. Pick a card, any card.
Anything can happen.
Get out.
But yeah, so Perry, you must be excited. Ninja and Illusionist, I mean, they're kind of your 2 pet classes, right? So
What's he vibing? What are you vibing at the moment on the artwork? Are you going for the dude or the
Phi or Dromai? Yeah.
Phi? That's his name, Phi or Dromai. I mean, I'd probably pay Illusionist, to be fair. If she's the only one doing dragons, I'm in.
Yeah, I think if she's the only one doing dragons, she's gonna get a lot of loyal followers. People love dragons. All right, roll.
Hey,
It'll be
he's
back.
having a good time, isn't he?
It'll be back one day. It's just such a strong card. Yeah.
Redonkulous.
Next time Viz is good, it'll be good again. It's funny.
I feel like
after playing it in
Viz has had his time.
Yeah, it's true. Viz has had his time without winning any major tournaments in Classic Constructed.
And Viz has had his time without even being a threat.
Yeah. Like what?
He was so garbage and then became so good. And then it's now just back down the pile, unfortunately.
Read the Glide Path. That's a really nice looking card.
And actually, for Azalea, like, huge effect. Like,
Totally.
Because you'd run Nimblism anyway.
Plus a free opt. It's just, yeah.
Have a look, and it's exactly what you want. Like, your cross wrap fails, no worries. Play that. Have another look.
Well, there's a Talisman of Tides, but it's not a cold foil, but it's still going in the Toby pile because we didn't specify. You. So
that's true.
Talisman of Tides.
Give me more.
One. Yeah. So add that. Toby Firth, number 1. Perry says, I want to make Ninja work again though, so I'm low-key hoping I lean in that direction when they're all released. Yeah, fair enough. But they actually look so sick. Here's what Perry says.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong at all. I think Isolator looks really sick too. I mean, I know there are a lot of people who've been kind of Kano devotees as well.
They're all jumping. They're all jumping to Icelander. Yeah. Guarantee it.
Yeah.
Guarantee it, man. Like, ice is such a cool mechanic, and then you add arcane into that. I think that's going to be bonkers.
Oh yeah, I mean it's kind of like blue mages from Magic, right? Like you get everything. You get to play at instant speed. You get to control the game, slow them down, all that kind of stuff.
We're assuming the illusionist dragon's the one that was spoiled, yeah, and that can do arcane damage as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, it can. Yep. So Illusionist is gonna have some more arcane damage effects, which is kind of interesting.
That's cool.
We'll put this Toby Firth pile up here because it's stuffing up the focus.
How dare it?
How dare it? Rotary Ram. Timidity Point, your favourite art?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's. I'm not sure if it's worst in the set, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah, it's not attractive to the eye. 100 wins. Ooh,
great card.
Great card. Oh dear me.
Get out.
Pick a card.
Get out, lady.
What if I want any card other than that?
Pick again.
Oh, upside down. Come on.
Does Steadfast ever get played?
Steadfast,
does the red one ever get played? Yeah.
Not really.
It's just one source, isn't it?
Yeah, prevent the next 4 damage to be able to your hero this turn by a source of your choice.
Yeah, okay, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you get to...
Good for Arcane, I guess, but then...
like, if Stir becomes good in Classic Constructed, then maybe this sees some play as one of the few ways that you can stop a really big Stir, either Wildfire kind of thing, but...
Yeah. What's the cost on it, too?
3.
3?
Wow. Yeah.
So, expensive. That's expensive.
Perry says, I found it super interesting the spoiled dragon hasn't got attack as an action on it. Yeah, that's actually a good point. So I think a lot of people have been speculating that they're changing the ally rules to like include that, but
maybe
you could be right, Perry, that like maybe the answer is that it's actually the weapon that lets the illusionist attack with them. And perhaps they all start in play, but they can be attacked down over the course of the game. Like maybe she's hyper aggro, and she gets to
Very interesting.
Yeah, there was a Netrunner identity called Next Design that got to start with some ice in play, but that was its only ability. Yeah, maybe she's a bit like that. She gets a head start, but doesn't have any kind of long game capacity to grind things out. Ooh, Runic Reclamation foil.
Sick card.
Mm.
Really good.
But if that is kind of the way it works, like if they start in play or one of them starts in play or something, I imagine that she'll have some way to summon them back or something if they get killed.
So what's he saying? I'm just trying to find the card. So yeah, okay,
Oh,
because it's a
not a bad pack.
double M and a L.
Yeah,
I
foil
mean, look,
M L.
it's
Yeah.
just it's a shame it's the palms, but it's an L at the end of the day. Can't
Yeah,
argue with
well,
that.
still not a bad couple of boxes from Everfest. And funnily
Maybe
enough,
maybe
that is.
maybe the palms is actually the worst art in the set. Maybe I don't
I
know.
don't know. I don't mind it. I have to say. I
Am
think the card itself I mind at the moment.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
it do? It's weird.
that's a good question. I'm just trying to get the focus. At the start of each other hero's turn, if they have less life than you, they may draw a card. If they do, create a silver token. So they get to draw a card, you get to make a silver token. So it's very much PvE, right? Like you get to be the one
Yeah. Okay.
in the
Yeah.
PvE group who's dishing out cards and gaining incremental silver token advantage yourself.
Yeah.
And it blocks
It's
two
fun.
with Blade Break.
Eric.
Yeah. Perry says that has to be PvE only. Yes.
Yeah.
I imagine so. It'd be interesting if it was like generic rather than merchant, right? I mean, I guess if it's generic, then people just play it for the 2 block. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, I guess, a
Yeah.
problem.
It might make it interesting. I mean, we'll see what they do with PvE, but it's not something that is, I'm super hyped on. But if you just want a couple of beers and a chill night, I suppose pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm not too. I'm pretty excited for PvE. There was a do you remember Terminal Directive, the Netrunner set that got released? It was kind of like
Yeah,
a
it was a bit
campaign.
before my time, but yeah, I bought it for the cards, I think, when I
Yeah,
got into it. But yeah,
yeah, it was kind of cool. It was like a little legacy campaign kind of thing where you played through different scenarios and your deck changed throughout the scenarios and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, it had that real kind of campaign vibe to it. And I think they could
yeah,
do
that's right.
something
You used
good
to
with
add
Fab.
in the box, it was the do not open these, wasn't it? Until
Yeah,
you've
that's
done
right.
this, and you do that, and then it's like, okay, if you've done this, you add this pack. If you haven't, you add this pack, and yeah, that's cool.
And if
Winner, winner,
they,
chicken
yeah,
dinner.
exactly. And if they did something like that with Fab, I think it could be cool.
I'm just looking at the dragon because I was interested in
Interested in
what you're
Perry's
on
point.
about, but
Yeah.
yeah, like that totally makes sense. It just says whenever it attacks a hero, it doesn't say how you attack.
Yeah.
So yeah, very interesting. But it does attack for 6.
Yeah, so I reckon that's what it's going to be. Either they start in play or she has cards that allow her to summon them and then her weapon lets her attack with them.
Yeah.
That would be sweet.
Very interesting.
If she starts with all 3 in play, that's just going to be like a sick feeling.
Ridiculous.
Just like sitting down, you chuck your 3 dragons down, you've got the marvels so they're all full art, and you're just like, yeah, here we go.
Take my money.
Oh, if that's the case, those marvels are going to be sought after.
I just hope, like, if that is the case, then she's garbage tier, and she's just
Why
not
is
very
that?
good. Just because then everyone's gonna, all these Prism players are just, because Prism players are diehard Prism players,
Yeah.
and they'll just play Prism and Prism. So then, if they're all illusionist players, I guess, and they jump on this, and it's like this really cool thing, but it's terrible, then it just makes it easier for everyone else.
You mean like all the prison players who just have to have cold foil auras and cold foil everything in their decks?
Yeah, and play it through like a chain meta when it was terrible as well, and you're like, this deck's terrible, and it's like, oh, but it can do this, that, that, and then chain just goes brr, and then you're like, nah,
Yeah.
Prism's not garbage. Prism's been alright.
I don't know. I mean, Tyler won the calling with it, and
Very true, yeah, and it beats Starvo, yeah.
I also lost in the semis of Road to Nationals. I think it was Fahad. I played for hard in the Swiss rounds, and I got there by dutifully playing out my time snap potion and guarding. I'm gonna have to put the silver palms on one of the piles because it keeps taking the focus. Rightly so, being a legendary in the box. Dutifully played out my time snap potion so that I didn't get hosed by the Arclight Sentinel. And then in the semi, I was like, I drew a time snap potion at some point, and I had the option of playing it or getting in with an extra attack on that turn. And I was like, I reckon I'm going to draw another time snap because it was the first one I'd seen. Of course, I didn't draw another time snap. Lost the game to Arclight. It's a lesson. Let that be a lesson to ye gravy chain players.
It's so tempting though, like when you get it like early game as well, and you're like, I could really do with this blue.
I just really want this blue.
I can really do with this.
I'll draw another one. Nah, don't do it. Be disciplined. Play the time snap.
Always.
Too many cards on the board. The camera's getting way too excited.
Do the current chain builds run time skippers still? For Prism or not? Or is it all just all time snap?
You could, because it does, again, just stop you from getting completely hosed. Oh, man. This focus is doing man. It has to be no better feeling in the world than seeing an opponent's time snap in their pitch zone. Yeah. Look, Perry, I've acknowledged that it was a mistake. I wish I'd never done it. Wish I'd played the time snap. But yes, I know what you mean. There's probably some other cards that you just like, when you see them in your opponent's pitch zone, you're just like, oh yes, here we go. Red Pummel, don't mind seeing that in the pitch zone.
Unless you know they're gonna get back round to it, and you're like, I need to remember where that is.
Yeah. Pry, don't mind seeing that in the pitch zone.
Have a look.
Yeah. Have a bit of a gaze.
What's that one do? Look at opponent's cards and...
target hero reveals 2 cards from their hand. If it's played during an opponent's turn, they reveal all cards in their hand. You may choose a card revealed this way. If you do, they put it on the bottom and they draw a card. So it's Vendilion Click from Magic. You get to choose a card from the hand. Goes on the bottom. Oh, is that cold foil? No. Just a reg old Arcane Lantern.
Regular schmegular.
And Emeritus Scolding. So, got that Silver Palms early in the box. Still quite a few packs left here. I think about 12 packs left.
Still want that cold foil tithe.
Yeah, gotta get that cold foil Talisman of Tithes. What was the other card? The Crown of Reflection. Gee, this would be a freaking amazing box if we got a Crown of Reflection in addition to that Silver Palms. Hello.
It's gonna happen. Timothy, get out of here. What's happening with his legs? He's just tripping over.
Yeah, so it's kind of like there are a whole lot of...
Tripwire trap, but worse.
Yeah, it's like there are a whole lot of arrows being shot into the heel, I think it is. So it's supposed to be some kind of like, this is the Achilles heel, and the ranger is like focusing on this weak spot.
That makes sense.
The spot on their body where it makes them timid if you hit it,
even
though they're a giant.
Yeah.
Is that the flavor?
I guess.
Yeah. But I think the thing that gets me about it is that whatever this creature is seems to have a flat bottom of their leg. Like maybe their foot's been cut off. Like maybe I'm missing kind of that gruesome detail. But yeah.
Where's its toes?
Yeah, where are the toes? Where's the foot in general?
And Drowning Dire, that's another interesting one.
Drowning Dire, yeah. So it hasn't quite like made its way into Chain Decks, which is probably where you'd imagine that it would find its home.
That's the put. Is it at the bottom? Yeah.
Yeah. If Plunderrun was still legal, this card would get played.
Yeah.
I reckon, as a 2-for-5 dominate, that you get to put a non-attack action from your graveyard on the bottom, and it can be any non-attack action, not just blood debts. So yeah, it'd definitely be a consideration. Like two's expensive, but it's decent. Dissolution Sphere.
Don't need them anymore.
No, this is gone. Well, maybe. I mean, after we do the stream, goes up on the internet, next minute, Vis wins the Pro Tour with like idiots.
Yeah, this is all speculation from very few games. And just, a bit upset about the ban.
The vibes and the tears over the loss of Skeletor.
Yeah.
Wild ride.
He looks like an orc in that.
E&D, thanks for the support.
Less brute, more orc.
Less brute, more orc.
Yeah, in the wild ride.
Um, yeah, it's definitely got a Warhammer Fantasy Battles kind of vibe about it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Macho Grande in the blue. I'm going to have to fix these piles up. There we go. Oh, no, doesn't want to look at the Macho Grande. Too R-rated. Coalescence Mirage. Blade Runner. No, it's cracked it. There we go. Blade Runner. Twin Twisters. More prize. Oh, Lee's going to find a pack full of those in his future.
I think we should like just make so many and like stash them in different areas in his hotel, in his bag, in his check-in luggage for when we go away. I think that'll make his day.
This one's interesting. The Aura Tutor. I mean, tutors are always good, but 3's a steep price as a
It's
base
expensive,
cost.
isn't it? Yeah.
If we start seeing more zero cost auras, this could be it. Like, zero cost Guardian auras, but they're probably not going to print Guardian cards with low resource cost. That's the thing. It's kind of like Guardian.
Weren't people using it for a bit though? The what's it called? The one you just had?
Imposing Visage.
Imposing Visage. Yeah, weren't people using that for a bit to get? Because isn't there one of the ones that adds defense, which is an aura? Or am I thinking of something else? Is that a Majestic in this set that ups the defense, and it's an aura that sticks around?
Oh, I think the I know the one you're talking about. I forget the name.
I might get confused because it looks similar.
Yeah, it ups the defense, but as soon as your hero takes damage, it dies. And
that's right.
I think the problem with it is the timing from memory, that it stops Battle Worn and Temper from triggering on your equipment.
Yeah.
But those things don't trigger until the end of the combat chain anyway. So if your opponent is attacking you with a whole lot of things you block with your Battle Worn or Temper equipment, you don't actually know at the time you block whether you're going to be taking damage, and therefore whether your aura is going to die and your Battle Worn and Temper are actually going to still trigger.
Okay.
I think that's how it works with the timing, in which case it's just very awkward.
Temper definitely resolves after the combat chain closes, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's I think that's the way the timing works with the aura. In terms of
right, okay, yep,
like that, it will just immediately die as soon as you take damage. So there's just way too many ways that can happen in the middle of a combat chain. But yeah, I think people were getting a little bit excited about that card for sure, because it looks really powerful. It's like, oh, remove a -1 counter from my chest equipment, get moving. I mean, the other thing is that the chest equipment from this set turned out not to be as playable.
It's funny, isn't it, when you get the spoilers and you get the first look at stuff and you like think what is going to be like super good and what's not, and then like I remember seeing Tri-Shot and I was like, this card is bonkers, and then in reality you're like, oh, actually I need these cards to make this happen, and it's going to cost me this in pitch, and then you're like, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, it's funny with Tri-Shot, it kind of fell into the rapid fire basket of something that like looks really good, or Poison the Tips. All these Ranger cards where you're like, this effect is sweet, but when that's all the card does, it's just real hard to get it into your deck consistently and make it work.
Yeah. There's probably builds out there you could do with it. It's just whether they're good enough or not.
You can definitely design your big turn around it, and you can kind of like theory craft. Oh, here's what I'm going to do with this big turn. Here's how it's going to be massive.
And then you just get Oakenard fused, and you're like, well, there that goes.
Yep. At least it blocks for 3.
That's true. That's a Ranger card that blocks for 3 that's not an arrow is I think non-existent. I think that must be the only one.
Yep. It's pretty sweet. So that alone kind of bumps it up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe I should just slam 3 in the deck and just YOLO.
Yeah, it's definitely worth considering. I think it's part of the problem is that it's got the most obvious synergy with Death Dealer as well.
Yeah.
But Death Dealer's just a bit garbo compared to Voltaire.
I think so, yeah.
Voltaire
I mean,
just
it's
does
cute.
so much.
Yeah, and like Death Dealer's cute and you can do some cool things with it, but when you start doing those things, you might as well just play a different hero.
Yeah.
He is wild for that ride. Look at him go.
Absolutely wild. Payload, Shrill, Pyroglyphic. Not one that has particularly excited me. So 2
Don't even know what it
resources, cost 2. If your hero would be dealt arcane damage, prevent 1 arcane damage that source would deal. At the beginning of your action phase, destroy Pyroglyphic protection. So
I imagine the
wizard
red's
aura.
the red's 3, is it?
Yeah, the red prevents 3. So it lasts for your whole turn. Or for their whole turn, rather. But it dies at the beginning of your next action phase. So, maybe one day there'll be lots of repeated arcane damage pings on an opponent's turn that make this worthwhile.
Yeah.
I guess it works against OTK. Yeah, if you can predict the turn they're going to go off. But no more OTK Viz anyway in Classic Constructed, and no more Viz in Blitz.
Blitz, yeah.
And like with most things, when things only stick around for one turn as answers, it's pretty hard.
Yeah.
To make that work.
Yeah, it's the timing, isn't it? But like you said, you've got to have it just sitting there just when you need it, and 9 times out of 10 it's going to be there when it's not. Yeah, exactly. Chains of Eminence, theory crafting that was like, this is the way, and then it's like, no, it's definitely not the way.
Definitely not. There's your red Steadfast.
Ah, beautiful.
That's 6.
That's good in foil.
Does look good. A lot of the foils in this set look pretty sweet.
Yeah, they did well with the artwork.
Can we get you? We've got you 1 Talisman of Tithes, so at least we've got something in the box.
Just need 2 more for a playset.
Yeah. Cold Foil Talisman or Cold Foil
Reflection.
Crown.
Wow.
Fractal.
Hey, nice card.
Well, thanks for stopping by, Toby. Chatting about the meta.
No, it's been fun, man. Like I say, always good to chat, and always good to crap packs, even vicariously through you and the internet.
Well, next time we'll try and hit on the random Toby card.
I think that segment needs a better name though, but random Toby card is fine for now.
Toby Bingo. Winner, chicken dinner.
Toby Bingo.
Toby Bingo. Well, thanks for stopping by, Perry. Thanks for viewers on YouTube as well. As I mentioned, jump in as a member on the Winning Agenda channel on YouTube if you want to be in the running for the giveaway for the new content creator promos when they arrive. And otherwise, best of luck at the Pro Tour. Toby and Perry as well, if you're still there in the chat. Toby Bingo, he's endorsed that.
Cheers, Perry.
Yeah, best of luck to everyone who's going to be at the Pro Tour. And do feel free to just, say hi when we're there. Looking forward to meeting fab players from all around the world. It's going to be fun. Thanks, Toby. See you next time.
Awesome, man. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. See you, everyone.